Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the end of tournament press conference for the 2020 IIHF World Junior Championship. Joining us today are, to my left, Frank Gonzalez, Chairman for the 2020 IIHF World Junior Championship, IIHF President Rene Fasel, and Martin Orban, General Secretary for Czech Ice Hockey. Before we get started, we'd like to open up with opening statement from each of the participants. Frank, would you like to begin?
Okay, thank you, Adam. Always a pleasure to be here in Czech Republic. I can say that we've had great fan support for this World Championship. We are very happy on both sides, in Ostrava and Třinec, and we can express our complete satisfaction with how the organization, with the Czech Republic Ice Hockey Federation and the organizing committee. And we've had many meeting members in both venues, so we are very successful with all this. And besides that, I can cover a few other items, but I would like to leave the floor to the president so he can cover that those points, and I will come back afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Mr. Urban, next, please.
Okay, thank you. So, welcome here in Czech Republic. Unfortunately, the tournament is closing today, but what I would like to say, whenever anyone organizes this event, so you have quite a few challenges. Maybe, first of all, I want to talk about the sports, okay? You wanna be very good on the ice with your team, you wanna win. Unfortunately, it's not the case in this event, but this is not the most important issue, what I feel. Then, you have some money, you have some budget, and you can lose money, you can make money, that's our job. I feel we want to break even with this event, and this is financially okay for us. But the most important issue is that we want to be good organizers. We want to host teams, we want to host IIHF people, we want to host fans, media. And after any championship, if we have no problem from the outside, and we have no problem. So that's perfect. So I feel we want to be a great host. And whenever you will be in our country for that kind of event like we have right now, you are welcomed, and this is the most important for us. So, attendance-wise, great honor to Finland, because in 2016 they set up record in Europe. Okay, we cannot compare Canada, USA, but 15,000 people attendance overall in Finland. It's unbeatable, unfortunately for us. We will estimate some 175, but they had bigger arenas, and they use 67% of capacity of the arenas. We used 80%, 81%. It matters to us, but this is not the most important. The most important that all the participants, all the fans should feel very well in our country, and it matters to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Urban. President Fasel, please.
Merci Adam. Happy New Year. Welcome to Ostrava. I see some very familiar faces traveling around and watching our game of hockey. So I'm very pleased to see you again, and especially wishing you a Happy New Year. So I think, Martin, one of your very good decisions was to come to Ostrava. I think to move and not to stay in Prague as an example. You know, I think you come to a place where ice hockey has a huge tradition. I mean, just look at the wall here. 1928. So I mean, hockey has a soul in this city, and we can see that, and you can watch that with the fans. I mean, you have a very nice crowd here, and I don't think that one day you will not be able to beat this 215. I'm sure if in maybe 5 or 6 years when we have the next World Championship, maybe you can go to Prague, maybe. But coming here to Ostrava and having a pricing was very fair. I don't know, $3-4. I think the price of the tickets. So I think it's for the fans. It was, I think, affordable that they can watch the games here. That was a very good move. It's not only a question of money, but it's also a question that you do something for the fans, and it's nothing worse than for hockey players to play in front of empty seats. So thank you very much, Martin, what you did with your federation for hosting this championship here.
May I jump in? Thank you very much. So ticket prices, okay. So we got great support from a local, from the city of Ostrava and from Moravian Silesian region, from city of Trenek. And that's why I promised that we will our price tickets will be, let's say, lower than usually, I would say, to be more accessible to local people. And our main goal was to fill the stands. So I guess we made it, okay? And that was our major one. And just a second point. You know, when you play quarterfinals, you are losing 0-5 against Sweden. 2 minutes left to the game, and people are jumping and cheering. Hey guys, I was almost crying. Thank you.
It's just fair play and respect. You know, this is. I see that should be the message we should give. On the other side, I would like to thank TSN. You know, I'm traveling also, but watching the game at home, and what you do, Graham, with your team here is really exceptional. So I think when we start since the beginning, you know, I think you started in '91, something like that, to the cooperation with TSN and working together as a partner. And what we see now on TV, I think it's great hockey with this under 8, under 20 teams with offense hockey. I mean, there's no trap, no discipline. I mean, no defense. It's just, and the skills and the speed of these young athletes is just getting better and better every year. I'm really amazed and surprised of some of these unbelievable talents we have here that we can watch, and I'm sure for sure in a very near future we will see them playing in the NHL. So this is a very good point. Thank you, Anna.
Yes, I just want to add, Rene, thank you for pointing that out. I mean, it is 30 years that the TSN is doing this coverage, and we have about 6 broadcast feeds to over 270 million. And Canada, Russia, Sweden, USA have showed all the games. And we have over 50 million Canadians that have watched parts of the tournament this year, and the number will grow after the gold medal game today. So having said that, we also had Czech USA and Czech Sweden, which drew more than 1 million spectators in the Czech Republic, which is good numbers. And we have plans underway for coverage next year in Edmonton and Red Deer, producing all 31 games. So as the president says, we have a very good relationship with TSN, and thanks to them and to the agreement we have with Hockey Canada and the IIHF, this moves forward, and it's to the interest of all of us to promote our game of ice hockey all over the world and become very global. And this is the way in the direction we're taking. So thank you, Paul, and to all your staff and group, and as the president says, thank you for being there for us. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'd just like to add as well that we've had a record 12 countries broadcasting the games this year. That includes all the participating countries, as well as Belarus and Ukraine. We also have 500 media members in total on site, which is a great number for World Junior Tournament. Before we open up to questions, I would just like to request that if you have a question, please raise your hand, state your name, and to which organization you're affiliated with, and to whom your question is directed. Also, please wait for the mic.
Igor Aronka, Sport Express. Rene, the group we had in Ostrava was great, but it was much stronger than the other one. And it's kind of unfair to teams like Germany. Will you rethink the seeding for next Worlds?
I think the Swiss team actually is responsible for that, that they finished fourth last year, you know. So that was then mixing it up in a way like it is. So I 100% agree, I had the same thought. But this is all about sports, so I don't think, Frankie, if you want to say something. You're the professional junior under 20.
Normally the rankings on the groups is based on how they do the past year, so it's really hard to kind of be in the do things in a fair way, so teams are equally placed in each group. So we will continue unless the competition committee comes up with a much better idea to kind of have the groups a more fair way. But I think they earn this, and this is the way they play the tournament the following year. All 5 teams in this group here have been very competitive and very hard to really. I mean, after the second game, all teams had 3 points. So one day you were in the bottom, and the following day you were at the top. So it's been very active. The other group, we had Sweden and Finland, very strong there, and Switzerland at the end in the last game against Finland, they turned things around and made it difficult for these 2 top teams to move forward. And then, of course, Slovakia won over Kazakhstan, and at the end we had the final meet between Kazakhstan and Germany, which last game was played today.
Maybe we could do a world ranking for under 20. Could be then more fair that we go back on the last 10 years, but I agree it was a little bit, maybe Martin.
So guys, I am a member of competition committee, okay? So maybe it's my job right now a little bit. The rules are set up pretty strictly, okay? So you have ranking in 2020 right now, 1 to 10. And then these are the seeding positions for the very next World Championship. And the groups are doing snake-wise, okay? First, second, third, fourth, and so on, okay? So we are thinking if we could set up the same rules regarding world ranking, like we have in men's category and women's. But this is a little difference because the teams are new ones. You have new players under 20. So that's why we stick, and we recommend it to the council and to the Congress to stick with this current system.
But normally it works well. I mean, this year I would agree with you. It's really special. So next year, as Switzerland will finish 4th. So it will be a little bit different. Now we have actually the top 4 in the top 4. So we have Canada. Actually, US will be number 6. Mm-hmm. So, but we will have the top 4 countries. So Canada, Russia, Sweden, Finland on the top 4, and then it will be a mix. So next year can be a little bit more, as you say, fair.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it actually kind of worked out. We have great semifinals yesterday, and now for the bronze and gold medal, it's really at the end it kind of works out on its own that the best teams are playing for the medals.
Yes, Jussi Paasi, Yle, Finland. To Mr. Fasel, checking to the head concussions. It's the biggest problem in hockey. So what is the IIHF going to do to minimize it?
Excuse me? What?
To minimize the concussions and checking to the head.
Listen, actually we started in 2001, way before before the NHL and other sports federation to actually work on the concussion. We continue like this, and I think we even here we work very hard on minimize. I mean, the ruling, and the only way is general. And I give you then the floor, Frankie, for the juniors. We have to be even more strict on that. But the only way is, first of all, the education of player, that they have to have the head up, and the respect to the other opponent when you're hitting a player, and then the penalties we have to give, they have to be very strong. I think sometimes in certain league they do not apply a strict regulation that they punish the players. Much more fining with money, and also by games. 1 or 2 games is not enough for a severe concussion. So you should punish them much more. But Frankie, in the juniors here, you have much more experience maybe than me.
Definitely, we care really for the safety of the players in our game, and there is a protocol that should be followed. Sometimes, as President says, the players have to be more educated on this phase, but even the coaches and the medical doctors to make sure they follow the protocol that the IIHF implements and make sure they take the player out of the game, check out the player before they return back on the ice. So we would enforce that, of course, and that's our main goal, because we want the players back on the ice.
Mr. Fasel, you mentioned that maybe the rules. Do you have planned any changes in the rules?
I think the rule is okay. You know, the problem is that then the suspension we give. There's a whole discussion we have with. We cannot control what the league they do, but you can see sometimes in the NHL they have 25 games suspension in the very severe contact or head checks. So this is a real punishment to the player, because he will not get money anyway. So in some of our leagues in Europe, they should punish much more than they do. That at the end, I think that's the only way that we can really force that the players respect more the other players. Safety is our #1 concern for the players. And then as we see, the players are bigger, faster, and it makes even more severe, I would say, concussion when it's a daily concern we have in speaking about with the referees, with the coaches, with the players. So it's much better than it was before, but it's really a concern we have.
I also like to add that even though we have the game officials applying the rules on the ice, we have a completely separate disciplinary panel that reviews these plays just to make sure that if it was missed, they go back to it and try to make sure that the safety of the players are still there, and apply whatever suspension is needed for those players who do have the tendency to target the head area. But the most important part is that the doctors or physiotherapists on the team take the players out and make sure that they don't return if they have this concussion. Thank you.
Monsieur Fasel, Robbie Saint-Gelais, Le Journal de Québec, Le Journal de Montréal. I'm going to ask my question in English. We have fresh news from Gary Bettman or the NHL about the Olympic Games?
Not yet. Actually, we called each other just before the holidays to say hello, and but we would like to have a decision as early as possible if they come to Beijing, yes or no. We have, as you know, I mean, we made the experience in Pyeongchang. There was a late no. And especially the North American team, US and Canada, they had some problems to find the players and to build up a good team going to the Olympics. So we would like to have, if there is a no, this team should have time to prepare a competitive team to go to the Olympics in 2022. So we want to have an early answer from PA and NHL if they come or not. On the other side, the earlier answer will give us also the opportunity to organize all the logistics, as the demands are very high, the rooms, the green rooms and hospitality and all that. So we will have also a better time. Even Beijing is a big city with good hotels, but we need, so we are working on a early decision made by the NHL and NHLPA. And we were going to play the final qualification in September for the last 3 teams to be qualified in the Olympics in September, and the end of August, September. So we need to know before that.
I'm sure you know that the player want to play at the Olympic. The NHL player, did you talk about that with Gary? Your player want to play? Do you think, or might be a possibility to see junior player at the Olympic?
I said that there are actually 4 different opportunities, you know, that we play like in Pyeongchang, we play with the NHL, we play with the juniors, or we don't go at all. I mean, it's always still an option too, because of the IOC making sometimes some problem. But our mission has to be that we have to do everything possible that we have the best and best in the Olympics. You know, our mission is, the first mission is to promote the game of ice hockey. And the Olympic Games is the unique platform we can use, especially in Asia, with the best and best to promote our game in Asia. It's 2/3 of the population in the world. There is a market, and I will be surprised. Gary, I consider Gary as a smart person, so and he's smart, and at the end he will come. I hope so.
Next question.
Sorry, just to follow up, Josh Clifford of the Canadian Press. Do you get the sense that Gary wants to go though, really? Because whenever he talks, he sort of tries to pour cold water on it. Do you think that you have an actual willing participant?
Once again, your question, you tell me that Gary wants to go?
I'm asking you, do you think he really wants to go, or is he?
No, but I mean, he is a very good businessman. I mean, and then he's going from 600 million to nearly 5 billion turnover in the last 20 years. So, and having the opportunity to present the game of hockey and his brand NHL in front of, first of all, 1.5 billion Chinese and the rest of Asia. So I think as a smart person, he should. But I know also Gary doesn't want to say yes because he wants to negotiate. So we will see. It will be a lot of fun in the next, I would say, 6 months, 7 months.
Are you optimistic that they're going to go?
I'm always optimistic. I'm, you know. But and if he's not coming, so we will do like we do in Pyeongchang. That's I think we made a. It's not the same. I must agree. But we had also a good tournament in Pyeongchang with an interesting final with Russia and Germany. And but we'll see. I really hope we can, especially for the hockey fans and for our game, it would be so good to have the best and best.
Any more questions?
Sorry. Just a comment on the Canadian fans that have traveled here. They've really, made the building alive. I know there's lots of countries here, but it seems like half the building every game is Canadian fans. Just a comment on those traveling fans that traveled a long way. I know how far it took, how long it took to get here.
No, it's amazing. I think we've had about 3,000 fans from Canada, and they continue to follow their junior players to the junior championships wherever they are. It's part of a tradition now for Christmas, and I think that's a great way to go about it. And although next year, being in Edmonton Red Deer, hopefully we'll have the other way around, the Europeans coming over and see the World Juniors the Canadian way. But this is a great asset for the World Juniors that these traveling fans are here in Europe, and hopefully they will continue to do that. And next one will be in Europe, will be in Gothenburg, and I think that would be a great place to go to for them.
And just as a follow-up, Ryan Pyatt, Toronto Sun. Martin, you said you might break even. Did these Canadians save the tournament for you?
I would like to say yes, but it's not really true because I'm sure that we will sold out the tournament anyway. But I really appreciate this effort from Canadians, and they are welcomed. And I talked to quite a few people who are heading agencies who brought the people over here to my country. So, but it's about ticket prices, and they are very cheap. So it's not the major. Ticket prices, okay, it's maybe 25% of the budget. That's true, but I appreciate the Canadians are here, so great fans. Thank you.
But you can see the difference between North America and Europe. So they make a tough break even here, and then we go to North America, they make between 15 and 18 million profit. So it's, yeah, I mean, we have no other way that we have to come to Europe. I think it was a good experience. But next year we'll be in Edmonton. 22 we are in US. 23 we will be in Russia. So it's coming. And thanks working together, we have this product now, what we have, and that's I remember times where I think we can greet every fan in the arena. I remember in Switzerland, in Morges, I mean, for all the former people there, maybe you remember Paul, there were 50 people in the arena. You know, so it's changing, and thanks to also Hockey Canada, I would like to thank Hockey Canada for doing what they do together with TSN to make this possible. So it's also very good for the players. I mean, it's so much different for the players.
So So this tournament under 20, under our conditions, okay, we are happy to break even, but it's not the major one goal. Okay, maybe we can lose some money, but we are thinking about the future, and we are thinking about the people and promotion of hockey. So this is our goal. Okay. When we had World Champs in 2015, men senior, we made a lot of money. We are heading for 2024. But in the meantime, you have to promote hockey to the people and so on, so on. So this is our goal.
In IIHF, we spend around 500,000 to make this possible, to support the organizer for 350,000, and then the rest we pay the referees and all that we have in charge. So it's not a money thing like for TSN. I mean, we do not that but we work as partner. And then we really promote that in a way as it should be. Money is not the main goal for that, it's just to promote the sport of hockey.
Any more questions?
One more. Regarding 2023 World Championships, juniors, should we expect some changes in that?
No, actually, we got the information from WADA that the junior games will not be actually under the suspension, so we will have the under 23 in Novosibirsk and Omsk. That will not change, despite just waiting for the decision made by the Court of Arbitration in Lausanne.
Any more questions? Great, thank you everyone.
Merci beaucoup. Dziękuję.